which came first, the chicken or the egg? We know that leads come before clients, or prospects come before clients. I tend to sort of group everybody into that lead category before they buy something. So that's what we're going to dive into today. How long does it take? What should you expect? What are you setting yourself up for in the way of success in this area of your business? Hey there, if you are new, I am Penny Kelly with Marketing Profit School. I am here every week with a new training, and I am so happy to have just a tiny bit of your time that you're sharing with me. And I hope that this training helps you get better results, make more sales, and make more money in your business. That's what it's all about, having a business we love running that supports a life we love even more. So that is what Marketing Profit School is about. That's what the profit pillars and the profit to prosper philosophy are all about. So today, this is something that I see a lot of former corporate leaders, yes, girl and men, kind of like me, who, following the boss's order or the framework or the corporate plan, whatever it was, even if we had latitude to put our own personality or our own spin on things from time to time, we were still very much following a corporate structure. We understood from the first time we reached out to a new prospect to the time we closed a deal what that timeline was going to look like, because someone had told us in our training in our early days. Maybe we were able to shave some time off of that, but we knew that in general how long it took. I knew when I was working with a restaurant to change a wine list, a lot of times restaurants would do little table features for by the glass, but you could only get new items on their wine list once a year. You needed to know when that was and when those presentations were to make that happen, or you had to wait another year. This was early on in my career when I was directly calling on a territory in New Orleans, and learning that and how that changed, what that lead time looked like for groups of chain groceries where you had to make presentations 2 to 4 times a year for things that were going to happen into the future because you're ordering containers for imports and things like that. It's all part of the process. So in your own business, that is a tiny little microcosm, even if you're already doing 7 figures or multiple 7 figures, compared to the big corporations out there, it's probably still fairly small. Then understanding this is even more important, because it's about keeping the lights on, keeping your business in business. Understanding that sales cycle starts with understanding who your customers and clients are, who your audience is, and what's important to them. We've talked about that a lot, right? We've talked about that in lead generation, in the things that you do to convert leads into buyers and clients. And now we're going to talk about the time that takes. And I almost started talking about how long does it take to see results, to start seeing results. And that is a much more mindset question, because it depends. And there's actually a great story about that. And maybe I'll do a video later on this week about it, on how long it takes to see results in your business. And it just depends on how you approach things. Some people that want to talk about overnight success, they were probably working in the background for a while before they had that breakthrough. Now, look, there are crazy stories of people who just got started and followed the plan and implemented what this person was teaching me in affiliate marketing or some kind of licensing program or drop shipping or whatever, that got to 10K months or got to 7 figures. It's really hard to maintain that when you don't have much control over the process. So keep that in mind. But let's talk about the sales cycle for your business, for your expert business. You have an agency or coaching or courses, or you have some other kind of small business where you are the expert, you're a consultant, and people pay you for your expertise. From the first time someone wants to know information or download some kind of a lead magnet or watches a video, something that they need to give you their email address or phone number for, to the time you're signing a contract or an agreement or they're buying something from you, how long does that take? For a lot of people, if you have an SLO, a self-liquidating offer, maybe you have a $7, $27, $97 offer out there, it may be the first time they see your information and you're building a list of buyers instead of a list of leads. If you want to focus on more of a high ticket offer and you don't want to mess with that front end stuff in your business, and this is just a personal preference, right? of what kind of business you want to have and what kind of clients you want to attract, it may take 90 days to 6 months to take someone from learning who you are, becoming aware of you and your solution. If we look at the levels of awareness from Eugene Schwartz, then they're unaware they have a problem. They're aware that they have a problem. They're aware that there is a solution. Then they become aware of your solution. And eventually they're ready to make a decision and do something about it. And that's where they're most aware, or they're really just looking for the right time, the right price, the right opportunity to pull that trigger and do the thing, right? So going from problem aware or solution aware is a much easier game to get them to be a buyer or client than going from someone who's unaware. So a lot of times we'll start with that problem solution aware audience to get the conversions, and we can shorten the sales cycle that way. And the biggest point here, and I will put a link in the comments that you can go watch. There's a YouTube video I did about nurturing your leads. And this is really the key to shorten the sales cycle, or to still eventually get the sale, even if it does take a longer cycle. You know, there was a training that Dean Jackson did years ago where over 70% of buyers, and I think it may even be higher after the pandemic, I'd be interested in that number, buy after 90 days of following you, watching you, that kind of thing. A lot of times when new clients come into me and they're having trouble getting from 4-figure months to 5-figure months, or they're having trouble getting over that 6-figure hump into multiple 6, we're going to look at the sales cycle, but we're also going to commit that anything we try, we commit to trying for at least 90 days. Because day 60 to day 90 is when you're going to start seeing some flashes of success. And then 90 to 120 or 150 is when you're really going to see if it's working. So you really need to make like a 6-month commitment. Now, look, if you're spending money on ads and making all these investments, you're going to make those decisions a little bit faster, right? Then after 90 days, you're going to see if things are starting to turn and starting to look like they're working. If you have an SLO offer, you really want to start seeing those sales come in the first couple of weeks after you've tweaked the ads to get things going. So it all depends on what your business model looks like. But I can say in general, for expert business, you want to keep in mind you're working with clients in something that is really important to them personally and may also be really important to their business. So it might take a little bit longer for them to make that decision. And, you know, I talk a lot about the way we can show people that we can help them is by actually helping them, right? We want to consider the care and keeping of those relationships. They are trusting us with their email address or their phone number. We don't want to just send them junk. We want to send them things that will help them and that they want to read or watch or listen to or consume in some way. And those things should be of service to them and helpful to them. So it's really about nurturing that relationship. And in my selling circle I have with the 6 C's, we talk about making, captivating your audience, connecting with them, capturing their information, and then converting them. Going from capture to convert can take some time. And then after conversion, we want to capitalize honoring that trust they've given us to make sure we're helping them as much as we possibly can. And that may mean an upsell or a bigger program, or it may mean they go through whatever they came in to do and you release them to go on to the next thing in their journey. And then cultivate those people after they've bought from you. So continuing to cultivate the relationships, continuing to share value with them, because the time and attention that they're giving you with that email address or with that phone number is important. And we need to honor that, and we need to help them with the content we're sharing with them. Understanding that nurturing relationship or showing them the value, being useful in the things that you share with them. Jay Baer talks about this in the book Utility, Y-O-U, Utility. And it's how we can do things that are useful to the audience so that they think of us when they need to solve that problem. So all of these are important. attracting the right audience, the quality audience. So you're bringing in quality leads and prospects. Nurturing those relationships so that they want to come work with you. They're excited about what you have to offer, and they have some measure of certainty that you hold the key to the solution they've been seeking. Then delivering on that promise when they come in. And the trick between nurturing and delivering is making offers. We have to almost constantly be reminding people how they can work with us, how we can serve them, how we can help them. And maybe you just have one offer and that's what you keep putting out there. Or maybe you have a menu of offers and you promote one thing and then another thing. Whatever it is that your business looks like. Consistent your audience and your leads, your email list, your SMS list, your messenger list, whatever that is, consistently remind them how they can work with you, how you can help them, what it looks like, how they can learn more, watch a video, book a discovery call, whatever that is. Let them know what the next step is. So in that, age-old video structure of like, hey, here's what I'm going to teach you. You teach the things. Here's what I taught you. And then you wrap it up with here's what to do next. And we always have to let them know here's what to do next if we want to get the sales and build our business. That's what it's all about. So how long does that process take? That's up to you. It's up to you and how well you serve the audience before they become a customer or a client, and how often you make the offers without sort of pounding it in their face. Let it be a natural flow. If you want to work with me, here's what to do. And keep it simple. So if you want to learn about working with me, there'll be a link in the comments to this video, or you can check out the website, Marketing Prof, to learn more. And I will see you on the next training. Have an amazing